Today, I want to talk about something a little bit broad in some regard about chronic absenteeism and how to kind of attack that. We talked last time a little bit about teams and policies and codes, and didn't get too specific, just on the importance of having a team and looking at your codes and policies and making sure those make sense. I want to break the kind of the attendance um, responsibility down into maybe three groups for you. I think there's a pre-team, in other words, not necessarily the folks that are facilitating the attendance on a daily basis, but those that kind of build in the foundation of what you're working off of, which include that initial team, policies, codes. I think the other thing that pre-team needs to discuss is student barriers, how you're going to collect data, interventions that you're going to deploy, how you're going to collect that data, whether those are working or not. Certainly very important to kind of follow up with some level of fidelity when it comes to interventions, and then talk about letters and thresholds and the workflow that your district is comfortable with pushing through. And so that's kind of one team. They're setting the stage. It's independent of an absence, if you will, but they're building that foundation of uh, where your district stands and what your district uses and how they operate. The action team is going to be the people that look at the data, that put in the attendance on a daily basis, and then pull that information out on a daily basis and analyze that. They're going to be the people that are in charge of the reports, if you will. And so those folks need to have a working, ongoing workflow that exists, that they're able to follow and kind of see those kids through that process. They're going to have to be very in tune with what the barriers are and that information as that plays out, be able to pivot based on what barriers are being identified the majority of the time. Maybe they're creating surveys, maybe they're doing different things to adjust the workflow and adjust their thresholds in order to kind of meet the need of the district and what absences are categorizing and popping more frequently. Those are also the action team are the people that are most likely meeting with the students and families. They're the ones solving the problem. They're the ones coming back around after an intervention and re-recording or editing the plan, if you will, or pushing those students through a workflow, or pushing those students to some of those interventions that you have. And we'll get into some interventions that I think are really good and have really worked places to kind of prevent kids from missing school and to make that return to school easier. That's one barrier that we've noticed quite frequently, is just the return to school anxiety that exists for kids, whether they're out because of a vacation or illness or chronic illness or suspension or whatever that might be. There's a level of anxiety based on work missed that exists in kids, and it doesn't matter who those kids are and what their background is. My had a family member had a major knee surgery and was out for an extended stay. Good student, AB student, going to college as a junior in high school. Tremendous amount of anxiety coming back to school because of the amount of work. So do you have a process, a re-entry meeting, if you will, based on lengthy absences that kind of just sets the students returning to school's mind at ease a little bit? So those are the things that the action team should be taking a look at. We've got other ideas. Certainly reach out and get a hold of me if you've got some ideas as well. I'd love to collaborate. So that from kind of 10,000 feet, you've got your foundational team and you've got your action team, and be sure you've utilized both of those to its fullest, and continue to evaluate the data and make decisions based on your district's data.